What you're about to see is an example of just how epic ARMA can be.
I think I want to make a run. I'm along the road still. I want to make a run back to the bushes. Do you have any eyes on me?
Even if you're just playing by yourself. And while we fly over to our mission, I want to say a few words on how this game has completely revitalized the franchise and reached new heights. We finally have an ARMA game that has curb appeal. My very first exposure to these games came from Bohemia Interactive's Operation Flashpoint. And let me just say, it is so satisfying that after more than 2 decades of playing, ARMA is now more accessible than ever. We have crossplay and a simpler, more moddable experience that truly feels alien to the franchise. Simple and ARMA never went together before, and it has been so fun to see this game capture the hearts of new players. Reforger is the first game in the series that has attempted to step outside and build on the sandbox roots, and it offers something all players can easily pick up. In the past, the ARMA series had a notoriously steep learning curve, and that's just talking the base game. If you wanted a more customized experience, good luck selling your friends on how to install mods in ARMA 2. I tried. It did not work. ARMA 3 greatly improved on the modability with the Steam Workshop, but it lacked 2 key things that Reforger brings to the table. It lacked optimization and crossplay. Now for the latter, we have to assume that it just technically wasn't feasible yet. But as for performance, it's been nearly 10 years since we got ARMA 3, and not even mods could fix ARMA being ARMA. Optimization was always an uphill battle in the series. Now that's a very important thing because new players who aren't necessarily sold on the milsim genre turn and run when faced with low frame rates, desync, and a general lack of not knowing what's going on. Now I speak from the perspective of a lifelong PC gamer. Crossplay, so many people love to complain about it, but when done correctly, such as in this game, what you get is a fantastic, near seamless experience for both the PC and console parties, which is miraculous considering the breadth of controls and buttons available on a keyboard versus an Xbox controller. What we gain from this is a larger and newer play base. If you have any doubts about crossplay's importance to the survival of the series, look no further than the Steam charts. From the moment crossplay hit Xbox and PS5, this game's active population skyrocketed from hundreds to thousands. It was an instant success. So how does this contrast to how we played ARMA before? Previously, the series depended heavily on people who could dedicate multiple consecutive hours to an experience, both downloading mods, finding a community to play in, joining fingers crossed, hoping you didn't get kicked from some sort of error, and then, only then, could you begin that steep learning curve. Back to my point, not many working people can do that consistently, and Bohemia found a way to lower the barrier of entry for new players and to keep ARMA ARMA. The community feels alive. People are taking up an interest in the milsim genre. I'm here for it. It's loads of fun. The genre will grow and so will the ARMA community. This game alone has inspired me to post more on my YouTube channel because I am so passionate about growing this game's community. I'm going to leave it at that. We're landing now, and Outpost Levy needs taking.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
After setting me down, the chopper was off, and I was on my own. Initially, nothing. No movement, no nothing down there. I thought I had an empty base in front of me. But the front line was being pushed back towards here, so I knew they were coming. What you're about to see is a masterclass of over 2 decades of RPG experience. And we were off. The raid had begun, and I was on my way to take over Outpost Levy.
Get me on this station here. Yeah.
On the other side of this place. On the other side of this place.
At this point, without question, I had been spotted, but they did not know it was just me. Now, they were being hit from all sides.
Head in there now.
Жатва 01. Всем позывные. Мы захватили передовой. Всем позывные. Это Жатва 01. Построен парк тяжелой техники на базе Аврора. Конец связи. Конец связи.
I felt the momentum building, and I wanted to keep this going. As I set up shop on Levy, I remembered I had Corporal Blackrum playing Overwatch up on the mountain above me. He had sort of sauntered into the battle as time had gone on, and he would prove to be an invaluable member of this assault. And enemy supply runs were coming in left and right, and he was up there watching it all.
Конец связи.
Sector's a unit 2-story building?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, they just drove a supply truck in here, and he flipped it, but he's still alive. I couldn't kill him.
Okay, I have eyes. Maybe?
Жатва 01.
Yeah, I see him. He's moving. Running towards single building. Very top.
I knew that if I let this guy get away, he would tell all of his teammates I was there, and that would spell the end of the raid
Hey, so I see you. He's gonna be to your left there.
and the end of me.
Ah, he got me.
I really thought that spelled the end of me right there. Run over, but unbelievably, he didn't come over to finish me off. Bleeding out and with time definitely not on my side, I had to find where he'd gotten off to, and luckily, I wasn't far.
Still enemy here.
Shit, sorry for the TK there. Sorry, bud.
Careful up on your guys' end. Alright, I got eyes on 2-story here.
Don't have eyes on flat top. Do have eyes on one in orange top though.
Downed him. Alright, he's done.
After getting to the man I just killed, I looted him for a law rocket. One of my wounds had remained open, and I noticed I was losing blood. This wasn't good. I had to stop the bleeding fast, because I knew more enemies were arriving in more numbers than I could possibly handle healthy, never mind injured. As I lay prone, healing from my wounds, I heard their voices just on the other side of the wall, vehicles and men staging for the new front line. This moment, without question, was when the battle turned. The intensity grew. Surrounded by enemies and running desperately low on ammo, I needed to find a way to get a new gun fast.
Жатва 01, всем позывным. Враг атакует базу. Пролог. Конец связи.
Shutdown's capping. Get on in here. Man, I just feel like it.
At this point, I simply couldn't believe that I hadn't been taken down yet, but I knew I had to keep moving. I had to keep changing up the angles. I repositioned to one of the barracks, and I got a little cocky. Another brush with death, and I knew the clock was actually ticking this time. This was my final stand. Where would I make it? I limped all the way back to the other side of the compound, very badly injured, so much so I could hardly run. This second-story building offered everything I needed. It had a great angle on the compound. The first order of business, serving an eviction.
I say do Yolka. Yep.
Is there a helipad there? I know. I'm on route.
Over here at Prologue. We're assaulting coastal Showtime. Pretty heavy now.
Wait, what is it?
Oregon, over.
Oh, what's happening at Oregon? Sorry.
Incoming bombing run by enemy
Oh.
to Oregon, over.
Gotcha.
And thus ended my assault on Point Levy, a 45-minute tirade. And when one door closes, another opens. There will be more raids, there will be more battles fought. And that, we have ARMA Reforger to thank for.
Subscribe for more ARMA content.